So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Superman number 97, published in May 1955 with story by Jerry Coleman and art by Wayne Boring. For years, the target of Superman's unusual powers has been the underworld, and he has given them nothing but trouble. Yet one crook knew that Superman had done him $1 million service when he was Superboy. You doubt it? Well, so did the Man of Steel, and that's why he had to relive the strange and painful experience of Superboy's last day in Smallville. Farewell, Superboy, we'll never forget you. Haha, good riddance. Or goodbye, good riddance. Also, thanks. You don't know it, but you just did me $1 million favor. So, Clark Kent is at a prison. I've heard talk about a planned jailbreak here. Warden, anything to it? No sign of it. No sign of one, as far as I can tell, Mr. Kent. Maybe if I could listen in on the prisoner's private conversation. But that's impossible. But not Superman. He can hear. Yeah, I get out tomorrow, and when I do, I'll make $1 million because of something Superboy did in Smallville the last day he was there. What? Something I did worth $1 million to a crook? So he peeks in, but he can't figure out who it is. The Army is trying out some untested explosives tomorrow, and I promise to be on hand all day. That means I must go to Smallville today and find out what I did as Superboy so that I can stop that convict's plan before it started. So he gets a list of the 10 convicts that are going to be released tomorrow and then heads out to Smallville. It won't be pleasant raking up old memories of people I loved whom I'll never see again, yet I must recall everything I did on the last day here. So the first place he stops is his old school, which apparently is now abandoned as they put up a new school. And on the last day, he received his diploma. And I guess this was the headmaster or whatever. The principal. I have another diploma here for someone who I am sure has been attending the school under another name. I wish he would take it so we'd all know, so he'd know how we all feel about him. Here it is, a diploma for Superman. So he decides to show up, but if he shows up as Superboy, they'll notice that Clark Kent has disappeared. So he goes in and I guess damages the electrical box with his X-ray vision, shutting off the lights, then burrows into the ground. I'll just smear plenty of this phosphorus over my costume and provide my own lighting system. So he goes up there all lit up. Thank you, sir. I'll never forget the moment. And while I'm making a speech, I'd like to say that I owe the people in Smallville more thanks than they owe me. It's been a swell place to grow up. And it certainly was. The whole building is a shambles now, yet the memory is pleasant, even though I can't see how the incident could be worth money to anyone. So the next thing he considers is that on the last day they were building a new prison. I was told the town was building a sturdier prison now that I was going. The project had been delayed because the steel bars had been held up several days in transport. Since they planned its completion for today, the day of my departure, they were going to finish it in one day. Well, I guess that was their original plan. I'll see that their schedule was met despite the delay. So he makes like a bunch of concrete, grabs some bars from, I guess, a different building, and then completes the project. And there is the new prison, Smallville jail, remodeling to start, so apparently they're going to be remodeling again. Strange, a prison costume with vertical stripes. Well, I guess there's no set pattern. This little jail is run down. No wonder they're remodeling it. So the next thing he considers is his last encounter with Lana Lang. This missing piece from the arm of the metal statue of Superboy. How well I remember when I tore it out. I'd been patrolling the streets of Smallville for possibly the last time when I heard Lana call me. I want to say goodbye to you, Superboy, sob, since I'll never see you again. So he feels bad for her, and he grabs a hunk of his statue. I'm giving you a part of me, or my statue, as a souvenir. And then he molds it into a heart-shaped locket with the words, "Love to Lana from Superboy." Oh, I'll wear it forever. Wear it. It's huge. Also, did he really have to damage the statue? I'm not sure the point of that. She's so proud of it that she'll soon forget her heartbreak. And whenever she does remember it, it will be with pleasure that I thought enough of her to give her that gift. It was worth $1 million to Lana, but how could it be to some crook? How could it possibly be valuable? Maybe I'll recall the clue I need when I recollect how I built this road. I'd better work fast. It's getting late. So meanwhile at the prison, just a few more hours and I'll be free. Free with $1 million, just because of something that Superboy did the last day he was in Smallville. If he only knew what a joke on him. So he remembers back to when this road was all windy, and he straightened it out. If I want a straight road leading to Smallville, I'll have to blast my way through these hills. Later I'll harden the earth above, making the tunnel a perfect underpass. It'll be easier to move the river. I'm not sure it's a good idea to just move a river. It seems like ecologically it's not great. But he does finish the road. It certainly was a busy day, yet rack my brains as I will, I can't see the slightest hint as to how that crook, whoever he is, can profit by it. Let me see. What did I do next? Oh, yes, I remember. So he burrowed into the ground to find a gas reserve, and then took a stone slab and plugged it up except for a small jet of gas, and then used some iron ore to create some sparks and light the gas jet. It'll burn high and strong, providing Smallville with a beacon to light the streets at night. I don't think that would work. I think it would create a beacon, but I don't think it would light the streets. It served its purpose well, providing more than $1 million worth of gas, but it can't be any possible use to criminals since it can't be carted away. Okay. So then his final moment as he's about to leave, he flies in the air, and all the people of Smallville have spelled out, "Farewell, Superboy, we'll never forget you." And he comes back with an enormous cake. I knew I was coming, so I baked a super cake. Enough for everyone to have a piece, and I'll bet more than everyone. But he says that most people just kept their piece all these years. But it can't be worth $1 million. Well, I've reviewed everything I did that day, and there's still no clue as to what I did that was worth $1 million. I hate to go back to Metropolis. And what? The headline on today's Smallville paper. It's incredible. Now I'm beginning to understand. A few more facts, a little research, and I'm sure I'll have the whole story. Can you see the clue which has solved the riddle for Superman? Prisoner convicted of robbery on Superboy's highway. Caught at Superboy Beacon, interviewed in Superboy jail by classmate of Boy of Steel. Next day, a contractor and his men finish remodeling Smallville jail. Hey, let us out. We finished the job and the door it's locked. Yeah, I know, but these are Superman's orders. We'll explain everything as soon as he finishes some chores in Metropolis. No wonder you got a friend to take this job of remodeling this place. Well, you were in Metropolis jail. These bars are pure gold. What? How did you find out? This newspaper picture tipped him off. That picture shows a prisoner in a plain white shirt. Yet when I looked into the jail with my x-ray vision, he was wearing a striped shirt. So I checked again. My x-ray vision doesn't penetrate those bars. And what looks like stripes is really their outline against the shirt. So why isn't it showing up on his face? I was taken off guard because my x-ray vision usually does penetrate steel. However, I looked closely at those bars, and just as I thought, lead paint on the bars, and the bars themselves, pure gold. Come to think of it, Frisco Pete and his men stole $1 million in gold shortly before the jail was built, and it was never recovered. Then I recalled that you were to be released from Metropolis jail, and you had been in Frisco's mob. The others have all been killed. Yeah, Frisco thought he had a sure way of hiding that gold. We hijacked the truck that was bringing steel bars to Smallville and substituted our gold bars, cut to just the right length. I found that out since yesterday too, and I hope you built this jail well, because you'll be the first occupant for that hijacking job. This story has some plot issues, but I'll tell you what, I do like it. I think it's a very good story, even though there are some issues with it.